opulence and richness. This is what these fragrances represent. Perfect for any wedding, any special occasion, any time of the year, not just in summer. But let's see what we've got. Ready for your champagne? Are you ready to say, I do or I don't? Hi, I'm Gabby and welcome back to another edition of the Fragrantician, where here on this channel we talk about nothing but fragrances. And because I'm getting so hot again, I've just got my fan here just to relieve me of the humidity of the heat at the moment in blazing June. But what fragrances are you going to wear as a bride or as a groom? All of these are unisex. They might lead feminine. Who cares? Wear what you want. So, are we ready for the party? Let's talk about the special one, the one that is a wedding fragrance. First and foremost, you could wear to a wedding. You can wear it any time of the year, to any occasion. You can just wear it in the boudoir if you so need to. But, of course, I had to talk about Papillon, Hera, because this was made for a wedding. Do you want to come up, Claude? There we go. This was made for Jasmine, the daughter of Elizabeth Moores herself. Here we go here, so you can see it in its full glory. Oh, watch where you're putting your tail, boy. Papillon Hera. It's an extrait de parfum. Strong, will last all day. This fragrance is powdery and it is sweet, yet it has powderiness from the heliotrope, a little bit of rose, a little bit of jasmine. Hey boy. And it has a vintage vibe where it meets a modern era. That's the only way I can describe this. This has orris, it has that powderiness as well. It has the orange blossom in here as well. The orange blossom is apparent, but it's not too overwhelming. Sometimes orange blossom can be sweet, sometimes too sweet, but I love orange blossom in a fragrance, and this shines in this, combined with this ambrette musk. You're going to settle down now. Yeah, I know. Combined with the ambrette musk, it gives it this powdery veil of a champagne with a cork being popped. And then who knows? You could be popped by the end of the night. That said, though, who remembers their wedding night? If you comment down below. At the end of the day, this might be just a bit of a too much FYI, but I didn't want to be popped at the end of the night. I just wanted to go to bed and enjoy the rest of your life with your bride or your groom, whoever. There is so much emphasis. There is so much organisation into weddings that it leads into an anticlimax. And let's face it, we don't want an anticlimax. We want a climax experience. Hera, yes, it gives you that feeling of opulence. It will make you stand tall. There is a lot of natural botanicals in this, and it's a fragrance all of its own. I could talk just for the whole video about this fragrance, but if you want something that is a bespoke wedding fragrance, as it was for Elizabeth Moore's daughter Jasmine, then Hera will be your fragrance to go to. You can sample it first. It reminds me as well of a courtesan in Versailles in France. This fragrance evokes that imagery, yet it has a whimsical gothicness to it as well. Whim goth, is that a word? Hashtag whimsical goth, if you want to say that. This is what this fragrance evokes as well. It evokes plush velvet, lace, leather, sweetness, champagne, roses, flowers, everything in abundance. The perfect wedding scent, the perfect signature scent. Next one is completely different. It is by Ttussardi and it is Donna, which in Italian means woman. This has a lovely uplifting note of this yuzu, which is like a grapefruit, a refreshing scent. This is perfect for now, this fragrance. This fragrance is perfect for a special occasion, for a bride or a groom could easily wear this. It is that kind of fragrance that is completely unisex, it transcends all genders and everything. I really do love this. I love the bottle of it as well. The bottle is very opulent and regal, but because it is a cheap, inexpensive fragrance, don't let that think that it won't last. It does last. It lasts on my skin, on a moisturized skin, about 6 to 7 hours. So it has fairly good longevity and moderate projection. If you want to feel a little bit more modest as a bride or a groom, this is the one to go for. But it still works a treat. It has a little bit of, although it has this uplifting fruitiness to it, there's a hint of florals in it, but only just a hint. And as it dries down, it goes really creamy on the skin. Ttussardi Donna, perfect for a wedding guest, if you don't want to outshine the bride, or if you're more of a demure bride or groom, this is perfect. But you're still classic, but understated. This one is a classic fruity floral, J'adore by Dior. This is your classic fruity floral. It is a little bit of lily and lily of the valley in there, but it's got some fruits in there. It's the rind of the melon in there, which I can smell in there. There is some tartness from the fruit in there as well. And it is a perfect go-to, safe bridal or groom scent. If you want to say leads more feminine, you decide. I don't have that in my head. However, I mean, the bottle alone is very Egyptian-like. And it's beautiful. This is a first formula I have. 1999 when it came out. Strong, projects, beautiful signature scent. So you could wear it on your wedding day and then make it your signature scent. I don't think anybody would dislike this fragrance. Now, I was going to include Pure Poison, but this won it for me. I wore that as my wedding fragrance, Pure Poison, but I wanted to mix it up and do something a bit different, because I don't always talk about J'adore by Dior, and although it's opulent, it is ethereal and it is whimsical again. I like this whimsical take, and it's like holding a bouquet of flowers, but you've got some sweetness in there from the fruit as well. J'adore by Dior. The next two are discontinued, but they are worth finding on the grey market from a private seller if you can. The first one is by Lush and it is Imogen Rose. Now, this one is not for wallflowers. This has a dual personality. This is for somebody that comes across, and Maddie, the vegan perfume girl, I'm looking at you. Yes, you. I'll put her Instagram handle down below. Yes, she posts a lot on Instagram of what she wore in the week, and she wears vegan friendly fragrances, and this is completely vegan friendly. This fragrance This is rose, but it is what I call a slightly dirty, skanky rose. It's powdery, but it's fresh as it opens, and you get the stems of the rose, but as it dries down, it goes more whimsical gothic again. I've got this in my head, this whimsical gothic look, and it has that kind of feel that in the bride will be, or the groom will be, partying and having a lovely time, doing all the pleasantries, saying hello, having a wonderful time, saying I do, and then the after party, this kind of person has an after party afterwards, if you get my meaning, as the fragrance dries down. I got this on eBay. I can't read the ingredients on the back. They're so friggin' tiny. But I sense that there is some patchouli in this, or there is earthiness, vetiver. I sense vetiver in this. It has, and I quite like vetiver in fragrances. I'm beginning to like vetiver a lot more in fragrances. I have used a fair little bit of it. This is strong. This will last you from day to night. The dry down is magnificent. Imogen Rose by Lush. And the next discontinued one I'm going to talk about is from the house of Tom Ford, and I managed to procure a bottle of this discontinued fragrance, but you can still get it on the internet, and that is Tom Ford Violet Blonde. This is elegance and opulence in a bottle. This is old glamour meets the modern era. Why they discontinued it, I do not know. It was part of the signature line. It was the one and the only Tom Ford I loved, and now I have back in my collection. This one is all about violet leaf with iris, and it has a beautiful powderiness to it. Some of these fragrances have a lovely powdery feel to them, sweet powdery feel to them. This, though, I wouldn't say is sweet powdery feel. This is a dusting. This is quite a dusty fragrance, and you know I quite like dusty fragrances, but it's that iris that gives it that feeling of comfort and the feeling of pashminas and fur coats, faux fur coats, and it's all old world glamour in a bottle. Perfect for this one and the next one, mother or mother-in-law of the bride or groom. Absolutely stunning. I'm not going to spray it because I can smell it from the bottle. It's almost a feeling of happiness, but slight nostalgia, melancholic nostalgia, this fragrance. Not sadness, not too much sadness, but just has a feeling of, let's just drop our shoulders and admire the bride and the groom while you're enjoying your fragrance. Tom Ford, I'll do a full review on this. Violet Blonde. The next one is for another mother of the bride or mother-in-law of the bride, and that is Shalimar by Guerlain. Or if you're the father of the bride, you could easily wear this as well. Easily. This is smoky citrus and vanilla, smoked amber and vanilla, and it is French classic perfumery done to perfection, in my opinion. This is the original, not the original, from 1925. Oh, that bike out there. So this is the original from 1925. Although this isn't the original, it's a reformulated version, but it packs a punch. It's a statement fragrance. It's a fragrance that will make you stand tall, feel proud, walk down that aisle and have a smile beaming from ear to ear. It is glamour as well. It is those high heels or those pointed, what I call pointed winkle picker shoes. If somebody remembers winkle picker shoes, those, oh, I love a man in shiny shoes. If a man was wearing this with shiny shoes, oh, need I say any more? The perfect wedding fragrance, Shalimar by Guerlain. Next one is another champagne in a bottle like Hera, and that is Yvresse by Yves Saint Laurent. Yvresse. This is, again, a violet fragrance, but it has a rose accord combined with patchouli, but it has fruitiness of nectarine and lychee. Ivresse in French means drunkenness. So let's get drunk on champagne and love. And let's go back to an old era. This is an old era kind of fragrance. You know I love my vintage style fragrances. This is an old era made in the 90s by Sophia Grossman for Yves Saint Laurent in the original champagne bottle before it was reformulated. And I think it works just as well. I remember the old formula. I love this formula. Works just as well. Good projection and longevity on this fragrance. And I think it would work completely well for a wedding. Any time of the year. Yvresse by Yves Saint Laurent. This one is a budget fragrance, and it is by Provocateur, and it is called Petale Noire. This is old glamour again. Hyacinth. You know, it's a note that's not used in fragrances now. I'm going to spray a little bit just on my hand here. I imagine if Princess Diana was alive, she would be wearing this kind of fragrance. It's all the bouquet of the florals, everything. This is the perfect all floral fragrance for a wedding. There is a hint of sweetness, but just a hint. If you want to layer this with a vanilla musk oil to get more sweetness, this would go perfect with that. If you want to sweeten it up and amplify it. But Provocateur, Petale Noire, beautiful, again, for a wedding. The penultimate one is La Vierge de Fer by Serge Lutens. And this is if you love lilies. Pear and lilies. And again, it has a metallic note, which gives it that feeling of like you are just... Cheers to the bride and groom. Yes, it has that feeling. That's what I love about it, that feeling of the clinking of the glasses. It's fairly basic in its notes. It's just pear, lily, and these metallic notes with a little bit of musk and sandalwood, but it's linear. I find this fragrance completely linear. Moderate longevity and projection, combined again with your moisturizer to amplify the fragrance if you want to work it more for you, and using a musk oil-based fragrance underneath to make the fragrance have more of a fixative to it, to make sure it has a longevity. This will work perfect with that. Spray with gay abandon. If you love lilies and succulent pear, like you're biting into a pear, and it's like a pear sorbet combined with the lush bouquet of lilies. La Vierge de Fer. Yes, Claude. And finally, the last fragrance I don't have a full bottle of, but it's on a want list. Come on, Claude. Come on, get up. Come on. There we go. It's on a want list, and I have a little bit of a couple of samples left that was kindly sent to me by none other than Thomas O'Brien here in Fragcom. Ouch110, I'll pop his channel down below. He and I share some similar tastes in fragrance. Not all, but some similar. And he sent me a sample of Le Jardin d'Écrivain, and it is called Gigi. I'll put a picture of it up here, by Jardins d'Écrivain, and the perfumer is Anaïs Beguine. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This range is based on writers. So Colette, who wrote, I can't remember her name, but the author who wrote Gigi. I'm going to spray a little bit. I'm going to spray just a little bit on my hand. This is fresh in the opening, but it is a wonderful, in my opinion, tuberose based fragrance. It's tuberose centric. However, it's not like carnal flower. To me, this has a mixture of Watch by Micallef and what's the other fragrance? Fracas by Robert Piguet. A mixture of those two combined. This is heaven. I'm going to get a full bottle of this in a couple of weeks' time when I have a little bit more money. So yes, my husband never watches these videos, but if he's watching, I'm going to get a full bottle of this, and it's for the price. It's for 100 mils. It's pretty darn good as well. It's well under £100 for 100 mils for a niche indie bottle of fragrance. Lovely projection, lovely sillage. It is the green stem of the tuberose, but it's also those waxy part of the tuberose leaves themselves combined with musk in there, gives it a clean finish, yet it has a slight, ever so slight animalic feel to it. Now, I'm not sure if it's the musk that's doing it, but it's beautiful. And it's a beautiful tuberose fragrance, perfect for a special occasion on a wedding, whether it's spring, summer, autumn or winter. You could wear this one all year round. It's one of those fragrances like J'adore by Dior, or Pure Poison by Dior, or Hera, all year round fragrance. Oh, beautiful tuberose fragrance. I'm really excited that I got these samples, and thank you so much to Thomas O'Brien for reaching out to me and sending me those samples. I really much appreciate it. Les Jardins d'Écrivain, Gigi, perfect tuberose fragrance for a wedding. So those were my 10 opulent vintage meets modern fragrances. What are yours? Comment down below. I'd love to hear your comments. I love engaging with everybody. I do get to you eventually. It takes time. I know it might take a day or two because of my work schedule and everything, and my fur baby schedule. But when I do, I love reading your comments. And please, I am so thankful that my channel is growing. I've been now on YouTube for just under 2 years, and I love it. Makes me happy. And this is what I love. This is what I love. Fragrance and perfume, and the art of perfume, and the way perfume speaks to me. And some people get it, some people don't. But those of you out there that reach out and comment and like the video, you do get it. And I appreciate it. So until the next time, if you don't want to say I do, like Vince did to Penny in Just Good Friends, yes, if you remember that, comment down below, then at least have the decency to not jilt the bride. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.